There's a saying where I come from, the border, I don't know how to say it in Spanish, but it's like, you're putting too much cream in my tacos, dude. Really. And that's true because, I mean, yeah, Tumblewords has been doing those weekly workshops for, this is the 20th year, and you put your finger on it because when, I'd already started Tumblewords, but when I joined, well, when a band was created called Central Nervous System, all the musicians were artists, right? And all the poets were yellers, and we yelled and we made noises, and the visual artists and the musicians made music. But how it came about was I was at a party in Juarez at the great intellectual Elivaldo de Varillo's house, and met a guy named David Romo, and we said, you know, we artists, we need a place like church where we can just go every week and do our art thing. And so Michael really put his finger on it, because that's really kind of what Tumblewords is about, is a place every Saturday that we get together and we write. The first few years it was 2 a week, and now it's just 1 a week, but that still adds up to some 1,000 workshops we've been doing, yeah, not counting those in the school. My new book, Poemas ante el Catafalco, Grief and Renewal, it's not really bilingual. It's written in el idioma fronteriza, right? Spanglish, because that's what we speak where I live. That's what we speak at home. That's what we speak in bed. That's what we speak at the Lubies. That's what I speak in court when I was practicing court, you know. I mean, it's the language, and so that's what it's written in. And when I found out I was gonna have the great pleasure and honor of reading with Iván de la Vega, I went and redid my set list, yeah, because well, I've been doing these readings here and about, and you know, it's about grief and it's about renewal, and and then at the readings in New Mexico and Albuquerque, a lot of the people there know some of the people I'm writing about, some of my muertitos, my deceased loved ones. But there's a whole section or two in the grief part of this book that's about politics. And when I heard that Yvonne was going to be here, I decided I was going to focus on my politics in this book. And, you know, like come out as who I am, which is a left-wing political person. You know, I've been working since way back when most of you guys weren't born, you know, working for La Gente, you know, the Navajo people and the disabled people and the campesinos, and it was all the great blessing on me to be able to do that work with great people. So I had my little set list set up, and then my brother-in-law walks in tonight, totally unexpectedly, and I'm like, oh, well, I got to put some more points back in about my husband who died last year. So I'm viciously slashing this set list as we go, y'all. Trust me, I'm not really going to keep you up here all this time. But I want to say thank you to Beyond Baroque. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you, Pablo, for being here on your Saturday night, selling all these beautiful books, collecting all these beautiful books. Danny Baker, who's a brand new member of the board. And I want to tell you in advance, thank you for all the good work you're going to be doing for Beyond Baroque.
Don't jinx me.
Yeah. I know you will. Christian Alvarez, who, you know, had the faith in me to say, hey, you know what, you should get some gigs out there in Southern California. I'm like, yo, me? I'm just a girl from 20. And, you know, Christina también, who says, you know, come on out here, we'll have a good time. And then Michael C. Ford, who, as he said, has done a bunch of workshops for Tumblewords. And he gave me all this credit, all this cream in my tacos about how wouldn't exist without me. But you know, the truth is that Tumblewords wouldn't exist if people like Amalio Madueño and Michael C. Ford and Victor Hernandez, wherever he is, if he's still, yeah, is he in there, didn't come and share of their talent and their skill and their inspiration in return for us passing the hat like we just did earlier here. You know, I got no grants.
Yeah.
I got no budget. We passed the hat. It's a love offering.
Yeah.
And you know, it takes a lot of money to put gas in Amalio's car to drive all the way down there from Taos.
Wow.
And it takes a lot of money to put money in Michael's car to, you know, drive all the way over here, all the way over there to El Paso, from El Paso, from LA. And I know because I just made that trip over here. It's 1,000 miles and we're on the westernmost part of Texas, right? So that's what makes Tumble Words continue to work. And I'm going to start out with a poem, and almost everything I wrote, except the poems I wrote in bed, are written in Tumble Words. And I'm going to start out with a poem called A Neon Desert. A neon desert they only see. Awareness, like politics, move to the right. Electric asters line a green sky. Brake lights baffle the eyes. Are you paying attention? Traffic moves to the right. Think of Louisiana. Think of Japan. People disappeared. Structures on stilts still can't outwalk the waves. Fissured world shifts in its sleep as sure as the earth beneath your feet. Are you paying attention? This may be the only world we know. Secrets and lies and camouflage. The stranger smile. All teeth and eyes. Detainees in your own backyard. Herded like cattle into the corralón. Downtown, old men still hide numbers tattooed on wrists. Or nopales inked on foreheads. Catastrophe is our only home now. Dying cougars shot, more dead. Unknown bodies beneath the ground, spying soldiers spread across the sky. A neon desert, the only sea. Our mama, up there on the wall, wears green and blue. She stands on the moon and blots out the sun. Birds gather in treetops, praying for all the people dead and gone. Dancers dance with feathers and shells. Mama's starry cloak shelters her son, the one with the nopal tattooed on his forehead. Pray for mercy. Pray for the woman who lives in the back of a car, the detainees in your own backyard, men with guns at every gate. People disappeared on the river edge, deprived of the solace of rivers and rocks. Our mama, damp with migrant workers' sweat. Lights wander the other edge of darkness. Nothing sure but this earth beneath our feet now. And are you paying attention? Secrets and lies with teeth and eyes. This is your home now. Another day, another catastrophe. Birds falling from the dying blue. Lost fish floating in the dying sea.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes I get published. In fact, I donated a book called Nouveau's Midnight Sun, an anthology of surrealist writers, and I was like their affirmative action surrealist or something, you know. I write these poems and these people are like, oh my God, they're so surreal, the imagery, where do you come up with that? It's like, it's real life, dudes. You know, I'm writing about my life. Dead hands.
Good segue.
This is unfortunately, like so many of my poems, taken out of the headlines. And what's most unfortunate about this poem is that it's in the headlines every year too. Same old thing. The dead reach out across the desert, burned like bricks by the enemy sun. Beyond the corpses, a litter of bottles emptied of life make a trail to the border with its gaudy signs. Down the highway, a panel truck hides its contraband behind a locked door. Inside that locked door, the odor of bodies warns the night sky to open its arms to death's bounty. The desert stretches, a merciless sea of boiled blood waiting for the coming sun. Only the desperate believe the lies of the coyote. And Coyote, he tricked the holy ones out of their fire and gave it to the people along with this scorched earth. Somewhere, the names of workers are written like beads between fingers. Somewhere fields, still and quiet, wait for dead hands to to harvest poisoned fruit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had the hardest time getting that poem published. Yeah, I did. Okay. Speak to me in Spanish. I'll hear all vowels and no consonants. I'll understand all nouns and no verbs. Miss the plot, but grasp the emotion. The guttural whispers in my ear like secrets in my shoulder through teeth clenched, but not in anger. Speak to me in Spanish. The sounds of sweat and heat. Birds drift lazily across the sky on air's pillows, alert to the desert rush for movement. The smell of blood and flesh. A nest built from cactus and rock. The sunset, every shade of carmine. The blood of Christ frosted with snow, smelling of juniper and pinon. The evening sky, every flavor of fruit. Sandia, granada. Sticky sweet magenta of tuna. Succulents hidden by thorns. Teeth and claws a must. Juice spilling from whispering lips. Speak to me in Spanish. The consonants, lost in susurrations, connect directly to the parasympathetic system, and reason is left behind in the patch of Datura's moonflowers. Angel trumpets milky blooms under the peeping bloom.
Yeah.
Órale.
Eso.
Thank you.
Donna.
Alrighty. And this is for my cuñado, Beto, my cuñada. My husband died last October 5th. Well, he didn't drop dead. He died suddenly and unexpectedly at age 54. And this is called, we got married on Dia de los Muertos because, you know, we did. We got married on Day of the Dead. We got married on Dia de los Muertos. Followed the marigold path backwards, holding hands and running toward ghosts we'd always tried to flee. We took them all by surprise. In our pockets, all the sweetbread we needed, everything essential to make our journey. We got married on Day of the Dead. We clung to each other like tattoos, calaveras dancing in wedding clothes. Roses hung across the breast of death. The smell of dampness dissipated. Darkness became light. Who knew? We would come together, find the long-lost mates we never knew, make our pledge. When you fall, I will kneel and put my face on yours. When I get lost, you promise to come and find me. And now I'm finding my way slowly to something new, something scary and fine as the never-ending cycle. And death awakens again to become live each year on Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Yeah, my publisher is in New York. He's this excitable Ecuadorian. And performance poet. I always thought his name was Will Wynn. He explained to me, Donna, that's my nom de slam. It's Guillermo Echenique. But he called me up to express condolences for Mario's death, and found out that, 13 years before that, my compañero Jesus had dropped dead at 44. And in between that time, 2 cuñados died, 2 brothers-in-law, 2 of my husband's brothers died. And a dog, my 16-year-old dog died, and my 14-year-old dog died. And 2 very close friends died. And 5 colleagues died, 3 of suicide. And so my publisher had already contacted me wanting to do a book of poems for me. And, I just never really responded. So, what, man, look. And after that, he contacted me again about a month later and said, Donna, I've got the title. I've got the concept. Poemas ante el catafalco, grief and renewal. I said, catafalco? He goes, yeah, you know, that funeral beer that they put the casket on. In English, it's catafalque from the French. Okay, so then I didn't do anything about it, and he kept calling me up, and finally, I, put all these poems down the floor and pulled them together, and here's one I had written for my cuñado Armando. He's buried in a potter's field. Nothing but tumbleweeds. Stumblebums come to drink and cry. Birds sing that same old cheerless song. My best friend long gone, so gone, long gone, so gone.
Oh.
I was very fond of my cuñado Armando. And this is for my buen compañero Jesus Guzman, who fell from a ladder at 44. And so I have a lot of fallen angels in my poems. Because he was a fallen angel too, for a whole variety of reasons, but he was a good man. And he fell to his death a month before his 45th birthday in April, the cruelest month. April winds rage in with a renegade posse of dust, weather's bad boys, intent on stealing a body's air. In one cruel April, Jesus was killed on Easter Monday, day after Resurrection Sunday. He fell from Jacob's ladder. It was the sudden stop that killed him. Undoubtedly, ay cabrón, frozen on his lips when he hit the ground. The tiny blood red rose quivering alone in the wind-blasted dirt. Jesus killed. An angel fallen from the heavens. Declared dead on the scene, mad scientists shocked him until his heart resumed its beat. Like all fallen angels determined to return to lost paradise. Declared dead at the scene on Easter Monday, declared dead in ICU on Tuesday afternoon, and then on the third day they took away his tubes and wires and his heart beat for another hour. He fought Miss Death until they declared him dead all over again. No resurrection, except in the memories of children he taught to be poets, or the minds of workers who crossed the borders from there to here. He crossed over from this life to the next one, neither from here nor from over there. And the mesas crashed onto the freeway like waves, and the spring night bled teardrops like falling stars, because he still cheated of air, cheated of words, cheated of life. The world cheated of him and his corazón too soon. Jesus was killed on Easter Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. His heart tan fuerte, it took 3 times to kill him. His death seemed punctuated by the street's beat and the lullabies of the bereft. And now the world, so cold and lonely in April, when the winds carry the spirits of dead vatos to remind us just how cruel a month can be. I'm the sound of the sea. I'm the sound of the shell you hold in your ear, the sound of the ancient sea before this land was desert. I'm the sound of the sea behind your eyes, shut against the glare of neon shining through your window from the cafe across the street. In the night, your breath heavy, your flesh warm. I'm the sound of ceramic guitars, once clay, formed with your hands, smoothed and shaped into momentary beauty behind the dreams in your sleeping eyes. Suspirations and susurrations, secret confessions heard by no one. The simple assent, the unintended exhalation of satisfaction, the chords augmented by calloused hands, the rhythm dictated by you and you alone. When the morning comes and you sleep still, I trace your cheekbones with my dusty eyes, your breath, the desert wind that never ceases, and I'm the sound of the sea. I don't know if I introduced Victor, but Nanda's Victor. Come out here and say hi to all these people who can't see you.
Hello.
Victor Hernandez is the visual artist who created this amazing painting that's on the cover of my book called Angel in Decline. My publisher said, send me some concepts you have, 6 or 7 concepts you have for your cover art. And I said, oh yeah, I know lots of visual artists. I'm already emailing folks, but I happen to have this picture on hand. And I sent it to him. I sent him Victor's painting, Victor's painting. He's like, ay, perfecto, he says, maravilloso, he says. He goes, this is perfect, Donna, it fits your book perfectly. I'm like, yeah, thanks, it does, doesn't it? Well, yeah, so Victor's done a few workshops through Tumblewoods over the years. He did this one alone. I wrote this one in a workshop he did a long time ago, can't remember quite when. More beautiful with sangria, aren't we?
Yeah.
The artist is rolling papers to make a framework, something to hide behind beside the same old drugs and booze and sex. Nietzsche defined an artist as one who makes something from nothing using particular media. The canvas and paint, the clay and stone. Look at that hand he made from a stump of wood. That's why he loved us, said Nietzsche. That's why the rules don't apply to us. We decorate our lives with painted masks, something scary fashioned to distinguish us from the herd. Rhythm and words, vibrations harnessed to create structure, something to divert the eye from that raw and naked self. All the urges set free to frolic behind painted masks, then dance away into the dark. The trick is to fight the death wish. Take it in your hands and twist it into something new. The trick is to ride excess into the dirt before it kills you. The drugs, the sex, the alcohol, all a flaming structure on which to hang your dying God. Nothing more than paper and string transformed, something else to hide behind. It's all right here in the cards. Ecstasy, passion, a red dress, death in a large hat. It's just a jump from this existence into something new. Somewhere where the sorry boys burn bright. A blue October made more beautiful with sangria. The curve of a dancer's body like the neck of a black swan. Winter is coming. The red violin is screaming. Listen to the secrets of the green gourd. That marigold path that leads to death. Death parades around in masks to hide its promise. Quick, take a bite of something sweet to hide its bitter kiss. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.